Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
Oh, it's a big Saturday night in downtown Phoenix. D-backs baseball here at Chase Field. Roof is open up. Big crowd with us today. And the Brewers are back in the second of a three-game series. It's Zach Godley for the Diamondbacks against Milwaukee's Junior Guerra. Join us for D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. D-backs and the Brewers tonight. It was May 26th at Miller Park in Milwaukee on the last road trip when the D-backs Zach Godley faced off against Junior Guerra. And BB, that's our pitching matchup again tonight.
Yeah, and if it's a repeat of the last time, it should be a doozy. Zach Godley, arguably his best outing of the year, went 6 innings of shutout baseball, struck out 6, walked only 1 batter. That game ended up going into extra innings, so he received a no decision in that start.
And Junior Guerra, who was the Brewers' opening day starter, got hurt on opening day, missed about 2 months, gets the baseball tonight again. He's been pretty good lately.
He's been really good lately. Greg Counsell's really glad to have him back. You see the numbers against the Diamondbacks in that matchup with Zach Godley at Miller Park. He was the Brewers' most valuable pitcher last year. This guy's very much under the radar.
Well, a great atmosphere here tonight. The roof is open. A big crowd with us. It's the Diamondbacks and the Brewers. First pitch is coming up shortly on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Gila River. Experience winning like you've never imagined at the Gila River Casinos, Lone Butte, Wild Horse Pass, and Equiva. By Tire Pros, everything rotates around you. By Jack in the Box and the Jumbo Jack, a home run for your mouth. By the Donor Network of Arizona. Sign up, save lives. Visit DonateLifeAZ.org. And by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by your Valley Honda dealer, where you get more standard features for less money. By Oregano. Step up to the plate for a guaranteed home run at Oregano's, your neighborhood pizza joint, location statewide. By Gigablast Internet from Cox. Get ready for the gig life. And by State Farm, here to help life go right. Well, as often, the Diamondbacks employing a huge psychological advantage with D. Baxter messing with the opponents. In this case, the Brewers' Matt Garza. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. First pitch is next on Fox Sports Arizona. It's open tonight at Chase Field, full of Diamondbacks fans as we begin play 3.5 games behind the Rockies for the National League West lead. Colorado won again today. They beat the Cubs at Wrigley Field, so the pressure's on here. Rockies have won 7 straight. Zach Godley sprints to the mound as he gets set to face Craig Counsell's Milwaukee Brewers. And here's your lineup for the Brew Crew, brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Eric Sogard will lead it off again tonight at second base. Domingo Santana red hot out in right field. Eric Thames moves from first base to left field this evening. Jesus Aguilar will man first base. Hernan Perez at third. Manny Pena doing the catching. Brett Phillips in his laugh out in center field. Orlando Arcia at shortstop, and Junior Guerra on the mound.
And your Ram truck starter for the D-backs with the Saturday Blacks. It's Zach Godley back up from Reno. It's the curse of having options left when the team needs roster flexibility. Zach has shown certainly that he deserves to be here. A 2.39 ERA in 6 starts.
Yeah, through all the ups and downs, back to Reno, back to the big league, Zach maintains the same attitude every time he takes the mound. He's going to compete as hard as he can for as long as he can. Big improvement for Zach this year in the first inning. Last season in 9 starts, he gave up 11 first inning runs on 15 hits to go along with 5 walks. This year in 6 games started, no runs in the first, no hits in the first, and only 1 walk.
You could use a goose egg up there early after last night. Here's the defense behind Godley. It's brought to you by Nationwide Vision Center.
Ray Fuentes will be out in center field this evening. Daniel Descalso in left, David Peralta in right, Jake Lamb and Chris Owings will be on the left side of the infield with Brandon Drury and Paul Goldschmidt on the right side. Chris Iannetta behind the plate for right-hander Zach Godley.
Trip Gibson, the plate umpire, has got the balls and strikes. Dan Isonia at first base, the crew chief Brian Gorman at second, and Nick Lentz is at third. BB, before we get started, time for your Valley run to dealers. Key to the game.
Well, first things first for Zach Godley against this Brewers team that leads the major leagues in first inning runs, first inning batting average, first inning OPS, and they've outscored their opponents 60-20 in the first inning.
What are you saying?
Get them early.
They're pretty good in the first. Eric Sogard is first up. Ball one from Godley. Sogard, 375. He's homered 3 times. Came into the series red hot at the plate, but 0 for 6 in the leadoff spot last night. Struck out twice. That snapped a 4-game hit streak. Godley behind 2-0.
This is his 12th plate appearance leading off a ball game. I gave you this number last night. In his previous 11, he's reached 8 times, 5 hits and 3 walks.
Well, he's ahead 3 balls and no strikes. Sogard out of Thunderbird High School. He played his college ball at ASU. A red hot Domingo Santana on deck. Sogard in at second base tonight. The Brewers today placed Jonathan Villar on the disabled list. It's a lower back strain after that painful injury last night. They called up their #1 prospect outfielder Lewis Brinson, who was supposed to arrive at some point during the game for the minor leagues. Count is full 3-2. Crisanetta behind the plate. Here it is. That's well hit right at Peralta. 1 down. Santana's been a force up there. He doubled in his first at bat last night. Scored a run, walked twice, batting .284 with 11 home runs.
You see the defensive alignment for the Diamondbacks shading a little bit to pull. Goldie way off the line on the right side. Brandon Drury up the middle of the field.
Yeah, Santana came up against Randall Delgado in the first inning last night and laced a double down the left field line.
Domingo Santana, career high 9-game hitting streak. He extended that last night. He's hitting .341 over his last 37 games. He's about as hot as any Brewer hitter.
He's hit safely in every game this month. Center field, Fuentes is there. Late break, and he just does get it off the shoe tops. 2 down. That knuckled on him a bit.
Yeah, that's what he's indicating to David Peralta in right field. Santana hit a knuckleball out there to center field. Yeah, if you've ever seen a pitcher throw a knuckleball 60 feet 6 inches and it dances all over the place, imagine hitting one about 350 feet to center field, knuckling the whole way.
Eric Thames. Well, Bob, as you said, Godley is not allowed a hit in the first inning in any start this year. So far 2 up, 2 down. Thames 267 and 16 home runs. He doubled and walked last night. He was 1 for 4. See Brandon Drury back in the outfield grass at second. Owens the shortstop right behind the second base bag. And Godley's ahead 1-2. There's that curveball. That has been a really good pitch for Zach Godley lately. More and more strikeouts with that curveball. He'll throw that pitch a lot with 2 strikes this year. Into the shift. Owens from the second base spot, a 6-3 putout. It's another hitless first. Well, you need that, Zach. Hang on. Diamondbacks coming up. hitter for the Brewers. It's Junior Guerra, 32-year-old right-hander. He's getting his season rebooted after an opening day injury. He's walked 3 in each of his last 3 starts, but for the most part, he's pitched well.
A couple of fastballs, a 4-seamer and a sinking 2-seamer. He throws a slider, but his out pitch, best secondary pitch by far, is that split-fingered fastball. You'll see a fastball splitter combination to the left-handed hitters, fastball slider splitter to the righties.
Diamondbacks lineup tonight is brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Daniel Descalso making his way to the plate. He'll be out in left field. David Peralta will be in right field. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Jake Lamb down at third. Chris Owings at shortstop with Brandon Drury at second. Chris Iannetta catching. Ray Fuentes out in center field, and Zach Godley on the mound.
Brewers will put the shift on for Daniel Descalso. Chris Iannetta, Zach Godley going over that 1-2-3 first. There's the defensive alignment. Sogar, the second baseman, back on the grass. Arce, the shortstop, on the first base side of second. Descalso, 221, 5 homers, 0 for 3 with a walk last night. He has been the left fielder ever since Yasmani Tomas went on the DL with that groin problem. This is deep center field. It backs up Phillips just shy of the warning track, and he's got it. A look at Milwaukee defensively, sponsored by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Eric Thames saluting his center fielder, Brett Phillips. Thames will be in left, Domingo Santana over in right. It'll be Hernan Perez and Orlando Arcia on the left side of the infield. Eric Sogard and Jesus Aguilar on the right side. Manny Pena doing the catching for right-hander Junior Guerra.
David Peralta coming off a 3-hit game last night, 2 singles, a double, and RBI. He scored twice. 3, 11, and 4 home runs. Arce, the shortstop, now moves over just behind the bag a bit. Not quite as big a shift as they had on Descalso. Hernan Perez off the bag a bit at third. Peralta quickly down 0-2.
And David had hits in his first 2 at-bats against Zach Davies last night on sinkers down low and away, and he shot one through the left side of the infield, another one down the left field line for extra bases.
Guerra's a guy that gets a lot of swings with 2 strikes. Just like that. That's that splitter.
Yep, that's nasty. Same delivery as his fastball. About 8 to 10 miles per hour off his fastball speed, and with a lot of downward movement. You see that kind of tumbling action on the baseball as it ends up in the dirt. David cannot check.
No pitcher in baseball gets a higher percentage of swings with 2 strikes or a higher percentage of chase swings with 2 strikes than Milwaukee's Junior Guerra. That splitter can be a handful. Here's Goldie, 314, 13 home runs. Singled twice, had an RBI, scored a run last night. Fastball right at the knees, and it's 0-1. Now they shift everything over to the left-hand side. Sogard, the second baseman, behind the bag at second. No, he didn't go. Dan Isonia. It's 1-1.
A good shot that time of Manny Pena, the Brewers catcher, is really trying to encourage Guerra to throw that breaking ball out there just off the outside corner, just below the knees. He was close to his target that time. This ball in. A little too far in.
Well, Guerra can get through a lineup one time using mostly his big pitch, that split finger fastball. Then he'll switch it up. He'll give you a sinker a whole bunch, mix in the slider from time to time.
Manny Pena really active back there in the first inning.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen somebody go behind the hitter's legs like that.
Well, he had called for a sinker inside to Paul Goldschmidt, a pitch that Goldie is likely to hit on the ground to the left side of the infield. So Pena that time leaned way behind Goldie to alert Hernan Perez down there at third base. Hey, it may be coming your way.
3 balls and 1 strike to Paul Goldschmidt. Missed away with a slider, a 2-out walk to Goldie. Our State Farm winning combo. Here comes Jake Lamb. Goldie and Lamb turning into a dynamic duo here in the desert.
They sure are. And this is exactly what you don't necessarily like to see it happen, but if teams aren't going to pitch to Goldie, you're going to have to deal with Jake Lamb. And not very many teams are going to want to do that as he continues to hit the ball the way he has been.
Well, he had a 3-run home run in the first inning last night. His second homer in 3 games, leading the major leagues with 56 runs batted in. Down 3-0 in the first last night. Jake Lamb hit a big home run, number 16. He also homered off Junior Guerra at Miller Park back on May 26th. Hernan Perez, the only defender on the left-hand side for the Brewers. That's the fastball in there for strike 1. Here's Jake last night off Zach Davies.
No doubt over right field. Made that young man very happy.
Yeah, he made a tremendous catch.
Yeah, he did.
Out there in the home run porch where we broadcast a game earlier this year. The Lambs are in place. That spikes in front of Pena. Goldie hustles into second. He tried the split finger fastball, threw it halfway to home plate.
Oh, that's a great read by Goldie. He was off for second base before that ball even hit the dirt. That was a nice play by Manny Pena. He blocked that ball well, got to it quickly, made a strong throw, but Goldie had such a good jump at first base, he's able to get in under the tag.
Ray Counsell having a look. That was scored a wild pitch. Charged to Junior Guerra. Time's up, Craig. I wonder if we're going to reach a point soon where that clock expires and the umpire just says, okay, play on.
That's it.
Without going over to check like Trip Gibson just did.
Arcia slapped the tag down on Goldie's hip and then pulled his glove away. It looked like there might have been an instant in there when Goldie broke contact with the base, but Arcia had already pulled the tag away.
There's that splitter again. We've seen it a lot already through the first 4 batters, and it's 1-2. Seems like he likes to establish that pitch very early and then kind of take it away from you a little bit, but it's in the back of your head. Throw down to second. He's pretty far off the bag and just does get back there, says Brian Gorman.
Big secondary lead down there. We're to be in under the tag once again. Oh, maybe not. That's really close.
They're going to challenge this. Yeah. Headsets will go on.
Manny Pena has made his presence felt in this game already. He loves to throw to the bases. He loves when guys try to run on him. He's thrown out 29% of the opposing base stealers this year, but loves to back pick.
So the Brewers challenge the safe call at second. Here's another look. This one might not go our way.
Afraid so. I mean, Goldie was doing what you want a good base runner to do. Really get out there, have an aggressive secondary lead, and when that ball gets into the hitting zone, you want your right foot to be coming down on the ground. If the ball's put into play, you just continue on to third base. If the ball gets by the hitter to the catcher, you drop that right foot on the ground and bust it back to second.
And they pick him off. That'll end the inning. Goldie picked off at second. We're scoreless through 1 at Chase Field.
with the quote filling guy, Zach Godley, on the mound, as he's been plugging in spots in this rotation while also filling in as the odd man out, shuttling back and forth to AAA Reno when spots on the roster are needed. Torey Lovella admitted that they have asked more of the 27-year-old than they originally wanted to, but he said all credit to Zach for responding with extreme mental toughness. He said he's been unfazed out there. The numbers with a 2.39 ERA, it shows it, guys. Hey, if you want a fill-in guy to come every 5 days, this seems to be your guy.
Yeah, Kate, unfazed, I think is a good word, Bobby.
Yeah,
he
really
never seems
word.
rattled. He never seems like he's going under. He's just very calm and confident out there. Jesus Aguilar, the first baseman today, down 0-2.
I think Zach has reached that point in his career, and he may go back to Reno again before the summer is over. We don't know what's going to happen moving forward, but I think he believes in his heart he belongs here and he can compete at a high level at the major leagues.
Aguilar hits one high and deep left center. Descalso Fuentes over there. Ray's got it on the track. 4 up, 4 down for Godley.
Well, you hold your breath every time Jesus Aguilar makes contact. You want to talk about a batting practice show. It was absolutely ridiculous this afternoon. Even his teammates stopped as the Brewers were taking batting practice to watch Jesus Aguilar hit.
He was hitting him into the Friday's Front Row Sports Grill behind left field. Hernan Perez homered last night, his second home run in 4 games. 269, 8 home runs on the year. This was Hernan Perez with 2 outs in the 5th. And as we mentioned last night, he's an aggressive swinger up there. He does not wait around, grind out at bats. He doesn't work the count. He's up there swinging. Does not see a whole lot of pitches. On the ground is shortstop for Chris Owens. Roof is open here at Chase Field. This is a terrific crowd here, BB. This place is full of Diamondback fans.
Yeah, we saw during the end of the Brewers batting practice session fans starting to file into the upper deck. That's usually a pretty good indicator you're going to have a big crowd.
Yeah, the upper decks are pretty full. 2 down for the catcher, Manny Pena. 303, 2 home runs. First pitch curveball from Godley, drops it in there for strike 1. Pena had a big game last night. 3 hits, doubled twice, scored twice, knocked in 2. Brewers as a team hit 6 doubles last night. That's a season high. Fastball missed. It's 1-1. This is a guy who's really picked up the offensive pace, Manny Pena. He's hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games. Fastball missed again. Godley's behind 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, the Brewers have proven themselves to be a very good road team. 16-10 on the road. They've been better, in fact, on the road than they have at home. In the air, right center. Peralta over there with Fuentes. David's got it. There goes Zach Godley. Hang on to that glove. 6 up, 6 down.
over the scoreboard here at Chase Field. Hey fans, a D-backs home run tonight means a free jumbo jack tomorrow at participating Jack-in-a-Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Well, we just saw a record performance in the D-backs match game. Gentleman up there, I think he did the whole thing in about 12 seconds.
Yeah, he had like 20 seconds left with 2 numbers left on the board.
He went into a 4 corners offense just to run some time off the clock and then slammed down the last 2. Well, Jake Lamb was at the plate when Goldie got picked off second base by Manny Pena. We flash back to the last time these two met. Junior Guerra, Jake Lamb at Miller Park. That was May 26th. So Lamb leads off the second.
And by the way, that pickoff at second base by Manny Pena, his major league leading 5th pickoff on the bases already this year. 3 at second base, 2 at first base.
1-1 on Lamb.
There are catchers that are good at that. Eventually guys are aware of it and you stay a little bit closer to the bag and the pickoffs go way down. We saw that happen with Yadier Molina. Towards the middle of his career, he was picking off 8 or 10 guys a year. But everybody's well aware of his abilities now.
Jake fights that off and dunks it into left center. A leadoff single, the game's first hit. Yeah, then you look at the stats and you go, well, he's not picking anybody off anymore.
That's because guys are taking an 18-inch lead off.
Listen to this walk-up music. It's the Little Freight Train. Chris tried that the other day. Had a big day against the Padres. Kind of a joke on David Peralta with that Ride That Train walk-up music theme. So the freight train's right there. CO calls himself now the Little Freight Train. Walk-up music is back. That's fouled away. It sure worked for Chris the other day against the Padres. Had a pair of RBI doubles. 0 for 4 last night. Did drive in a run with a deep sacrifice fly to left center. That came within a couple of feet of going out for what would have been a grand slam.
Yeah, it got the crowd on their feet. It got us on our feet. We thought it had a chance to sneak up into the bleachers, but died just short of the fence in left center.
It was just kind of that type of game last night for the Diamondbacks. Brewers made some good defensive plays. Pena has it behind him. Uh-oh, now Lamb. Thankfully, Pena threw to second because Jake was a dead duck at first. He was halfway to second base and would not have gotten back to first base in time.
A late start by Jake, as opposed to Paul Goldschmidt on his ball in the dirt. He got a much better read, got a much better break towards second, and I think Jake realized he didn't have enough of a jump to make it, so he slammed on the brakes and safely got back to first.
Just didn't quite roll far enough away from Manny Pena that time, so it's 1-1 on Chris Owings. Sam Levenberg's got this one, ranging way out there. Our Golden Glover down the left field line. There's Sam drove my Chevy to the Levenberg. And of course the veteran Sid Doc Rosenblatt working right field tonight. There's Doc. Just supporting his teammate, that's all. 1-2 on Chris Owings. Junior Guerra was the Brewers opening day starter this year, but in that game against the Rockies at Miller Park, he suffered a right calf injury. Had to leave after only 3 innings, and he missed nearly 2 months. He's only made 4 starts all year. In fact, his return from that injury came against the D-backs in that game, May 26th at Miller Park. 2-2. That was the splitter. Guerra, after returning from that calf injury against the D-backs late last month, won his next start. 6 scoreless against the Mets. His previous outing was Monday against the Giants. Gave up only 1 earned run, 7 hits in 5 innings. Here's the split finger fastball, and Guerra gets his second strikeout.
Boy, when a guy can throw that pitch properly, it's devastating. Arm action tells you fastball. The ball coming out of the pitcher's hand tells you fastball, and then it just floats up there like a straight changeup with a lot of downward movement.
Brandon Drury back in there tonight at second base. 284 and 5 home runs. Brandon doubles as a pinch hitter last night. He homered here Wednesday. Well, he spiked another slider, and Lamb moves up. Second wild pitch charged to Junior Guerra.
When a guy relies on the split finger as heavily as Garrett does, he's going to throw a lot of wild pitches. The catcher's going to be busy. That time it was the umpire, Trip Gibson, who actually knocked that ball down, slowed it down. But Jake Lamb able to move into scoring position on that wild pitch.
Everybody clap your hands. Come on,
Told this story before. When I played for the Giants, we had a closer by the name of Scott Garrelts, who threw upper 90s with his fastball, and his splitter was in the low 90s. Bases loaded. Roger came out to the mound to talk to him and said, listen, I don't care what you do, but throw all splitters to this guy. You'll get him out. And then as he turned around to walk back to the dugout, kind of as an aside, he said, don't let it get by.
Oh, thanks.
So, of course, the next 2 splitters went to the backstop. 2 runs scored. We end up getting beat. You know, don't think about white elephants. One of those deals, you know. Don't let it get by. Oh, geez. Well, the next 2 got by.
Well, that's part and parcel with that pitch, as you mentioned.
Yeah, it really is.
Drury looked a little more open to you up there. I think that front foot is open just a tick more than we usually see. Not a whole lot. Sky high. Left field. Arcia is out there. Thames comes in now. 2 outs.
I think you're right. It did look like Brandon's a little more open in his setup, but as he started his stride into the pitch, he squared back up again. Maybe something he's working on.
There is Chris Iannetta, coming off his career high 7 RBIs in the win over the Padres on Thursday. 239 now with 8 home runs. Chris in that game homered to give the Diamondbacks the lead, then added a pair of RBI doubles. Another splitter's in the dirt. Iannetta's 7 RBIs in Thursday's game, the most ever by a Diamondbacks catcher, and the most by any D-back since Damian Easley in 2006. It's our Cox high-speed highlights. What a day it was for CI. Funny, he said when he got to the clubhouse that day, saw his name in the 2-hole on the lineup card. He had 2 questions. 1, is that a typo? And 2, he said, are we trying to win? Why am I hitting second? Well, Torrey just had a feeling, and boy, it worked out. Three balls and no strikes. Ray Fuentes on deck. Swinging on 3-0. Missed a fastball. 3 balls in 1 strike. Guess when you knock in 7 runs in 1 game, you got the green light on 3-0.
Pretty much get the green light every count.
Chris, over his last 11 games, boy, he's just been killing the ball. 4 doubles, 6 homers, 15 runs batted in. Ball 4. Second walk issued by Guerra. That'll bring up Ray Fuentes. 2 on and 2 out. Lamb at second, Iannetta the runner at first, and here's Fuentes, the center fielder tonight. Batting .212 this year. Ray singled in his only at bat in that win Thursday against San Diego. AJ Pollock, you had a little chat with AJ today.
Yeah, AJ's chomping at the bit. As you can imagine, he wants to be on the field so badly, helping his team win some ball games. But the Diamondbacks just want to make sure everything is where it needs to be, and there's no hesitation in his mind if he really has to turn it on down that first base line. Everything needs to be where it needs to be, and it's not quite there yet. And boy, is he frustrated.
He's watched way too much of you and I on TV.
Yeah, no kidding.
2 on and 2 out. Danchek is swinging at 0-1.
In the meantime, AJ is wearing out assistant hitting coach Tim Laker in that cage. Hey, Lake, you got time to throw me some tosses, some flips? Let's go do some flips. Came out to the bench later and got Ryan DePanfilo, the assistant trainer, to play catch with him. Doing everything he can to show the team that he's ready.
Long set by Gary here. And he gets Fuentes to pop it up behind second. Arcia calling for it. And Junior Guerra strands 2. No score on a Saturday night at Chase Field. Stopper, can you beat the freeze in Atlanta? Now watch the guy in the green suit on the far left. Right there. There he goes. They do this every Braves game. They give some fan a massive head start, and watch Mr. Freeze close the gap. This is unbelievable. Now this guy thinks he's got a big win, and wait for it. Now he's celebrating, pulls up, and then he just bites it. Oh. That guy this year is undefeated. Unleash Freeze.
That's Usain Bolt, isn't it?
It better be.
That's beautiful.
He was in center field before the other guy even started. Here's Brett Phillips, the center fielder. Zach Godley's retired all 6 Brewers he's faced.
It's probably better that the race ended the way it did. If he'd have just won the race, yeah, big deal. But now he's on every highlight show in the world.
That's right. He wouldn't have made it. Pratfall is always good fun. 0-2 now. Phillips, the rookie, just called up this week. 2 for 7 to start his major league career. That's how they'll line up against him defensively. Phillips last night singled, struck out 3 times. Just did get a piece of that one. He's shown some speed. He showed the ability to lay down a bunt. He's had flashes of home run power in the minor leagues, Brett Phillips. Just 23 years old. Changeup missed. It's 1-2. Zach Godley gets a lot of ground balls against left-hand hitters, nearly twice the league average, in fact. And he's got 3 infielders on the right side against Phillips. Called strike 3. Fastball's in there. First strikeout for Godley, who has now set down the first 7 he's faced.
92 with a lot of sink and tail away from Brett Phillips that time. Just couldn't pull the trigger. Good pitch.
Beautiful night here in downtown Phoenix. Great to have the roof open on this June 10th.
How about that?
Who'd have thunk it? Orlando Arcia, the shortstop. 259 and 4 homers. Arcia was on base all night last night. He singled 3 times. He walked. He stole a base. He scored a run. And the only time he didn't reach base safely, he knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly. No, we didn't, Dan Isonia. 1-1.
Well, the Arcia family was busy last night. Orlando here at Chase Field, and his brother Oswaldo Farino had a big hit in extra innings last night to win that ball game.
Got some big hitters down there with the Aces this year. All the way, that's 1-2.
We gave you the numbers last night on Oswaldo. Down in Reno in 49 ball games, he's got 65 hits. 14 of them are home runs. He's driven in 62, scored 45, hitting .355 with an OPS over 1100.
Got a lot of good players.
Wow.
Got to get him on the 40-man roster, then think about making some moves. Center field, Fuentes, a late break, and it drops in. Boy, Orlando Arcia just keeps on hitting. First base runner tonight for the Brewers against Zach Godley. We'll see if Junior Guerra can get a bunt down.
Number 41, Junior Guerra.
Jake Lamb will take it, and they move Arcia along. 5-4 on the sacrifice. Eric Sogard. Sogard even with his 0 for last night. 8 hits in his last 5 games. He's got Arcia at second base and 2 outs. Changeup got away from Godley behind 2 balls and no strikes. This is the guy you want to get here with Domingo Santana on deck. Big crowd here tonight. Roof open. Just gorgeous in downtown Phoenix. That's a strike. Oh boy, RC is way off the bag, but Brian Gorman says safe.
These two teams love to run the bases. Diamondbacks and Brewers rank 1-2 in just about every stolen base category. Steals of third, double steals. The Reds lead the major leagues in stolen bases, but the Diamondbacks and the Brewers are second and third right behind them.
Well, they got Billy Hamilton.
Yeah, he had, I think, like 28 of their stolen bases.
That was last week. Left center, tough play. Fuentes is on the run, and he runs it down. Ray Fuentes keeps it a scoreless game. D-backs and the Brewers at chase.
Only important number today is 11.
Oh, look at you.
Partner Steve Berthiaume and Cindy Brunson celebrating their 11th anniversary today, and thank goodness Cindy brought us cupcakes.
Yes, she did, unannounced.
Congratulations, partner.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, you guys. This one goes to 11. Did you have an anniversary cupcake?
Oh, yes, indeed I did. I told you I need to take a nap.
Zach Godley.
Those aren't low calorie.
No, those are from Cake Teeny, our favorite place over at Fashion Square. Godley 1 for 12. We have some left in the booth, by the way, if any of the crew wants to abandon their posts and come on up. Mickey's raised his hand down there, I see. Mick, I'll save one for you.
If it's chocolate.
Yeah, we have a couple chocolates up here, actually. She's next door at the Mercury game, and then she's coming over here, so it's a little bit of a doubleheader for her.
There it is. That Godley eyeballing his way trying to get on base.
Well, at this point, they should just give him the no pitch intentional. Kara's already walked 2.
Well, intentional walks can be dangerous. Just ask Brad Ausmus. Detroit Tigers manager issued 3 intentional walks in the ball game against Boston today. All 3 came around to score. Ouch.
11-3 Red Sox. Now that was Chris Sale versus Justin Verlander.
Yeah, good pitching matchup
in Fenway Park.
No save opportunity today for Craig Kimbrell and the Red Sox, but how about these numbers, partner? Craig Kimbrell this year has faced 99 batters. He struck out 55 of them and given up 8 hits.
He's bounced back nicely. Had some bumps in the road last year, Kimbrell. I just can't believe the way the Rockies are going, man. They just don't lose. They won at Wrigley 9-1. They beat the Cubs again. Colorado's won 7 straights. There's your leadoff walk. Well, if you're the manager, what does that do to you?
Well, I mean, walks are going to happen. These guys aren't perfect. They can't always throw the ball exactly where they want to, especially when you have a guy at the plate who's not known for his hitting prowess. You know, you think to yourself, just throw it down the middle. Just throw it down the middle. And I'm sure that's what Guerra was trying to do. But now you roll over to the top of the order. That's the real damaging thing to walking an opposing pitcher. Now you got to face the hitters.
Descalso flying to center, pretty deep to center his first time up. Overshift is on the right hand side. Suddenly Guerra having problems throwing strikes. 41 pitches, 21 balls.
We've seen Manny Pena already pick Paul Goldschmidt off at second base. Zach Godley needs to be very careful down there at first. Right now Aguilar's playing behind him, but could easily break behind Zach Godley to the bag for a pickoff attempt.
Uh-oh. Guerra's getting pretty wild here. Pena does not like what he's seeing. And neither does Derek Johnson. Tell you what, the Brewers and the Diamondbacks have one thing in common: big improvements in the rotation. It's one reason why Milwaukee is leading its division right now. Brewers starters in the last 15 games have gone 8-1 with a 1.92 ERA. They have pitched very well.
Yeah, over that stretch, opponents hitting only .217 against Brewer starters.
And there they are, the Brew Crew, 2.5 ahead of the Cubs. 4 games over 500, 33-29. Cubs lost at home again to the Rockies, as we mentioned. Descalso ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball's in there. What's going on back there? You guys goofing around? The guys are in here stealing cupcakes. Hey! Seriously, there's a couple left.
Yeah, a couple.
Come on, take them. That's what they're for. Don't take our taco sign. That's all we ask. Fastball's in there, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, pretty good meeting. Pitching coach goes out and he immediately throws 2 strikes right on the outside corner of the plate.
Walking out with a cupcake and a camera. There's chocolate on the lens. Jumped on that splitter, stayed down on it, but fouled it off, and it's still 2-2. There goes the cupcake. Yes, down the hall, right by radio. Don't give them any.
You got to hurry past the radio booth.
Farron will tackle you in the hall. We need to save a cupcake for Kate. This is Kate's last game with us before she, you know, goes about her business. It's ready for the birth of another child. We got to make sure you save one back there for Kate. All right, that splitter missed. Full on Descalso, 3-2. Aguilar playing behind the runner, Godley at first. Ball 4. He's walked the first 2 batters in the 3rd. Already 4 walks in the ball game for Junior Guerra. And here comes the freight train. Peralta struck out on that split finger fastball his first time up. Godley the pitcher at second, Descalso at first. Nobody out. Peralta coming off a 3-hit game last night. He sits safely in 3 straight. Center field right at Phillips. And he just does stick the glove up there and get back in time. That one almost got over his head. He took a big deep breath right there.
That's a nice recovery by Brett Phillips. Initially misjudged that ball. It was hit extremely hard to straightaway center. Turns his back to home plate and just runs to the spot where he thinks it's going to come down. Sticks the glove up there and the ball landed in it.
You're right, it did. All right, now a plan for Pena and Guerra to face Paul Goldschmidt, who walked in his first plate appearance tonight. See that OPS for Goldie right there, over 1,000, puts him top 10 in the major leagues. 47 runs batted in, 6th most in all of baseball. 2 on and 1 out. Floats a slider in there, and it's 0-1. Diamondbacks still with only 1 hit. Jake Lamb single to lead off the second. Guerra has walked 4. Fastball missed, 2-1. Goldie hitting .385 at Chase Field this season. His on base percentage in home games this year is over 500. Godley's at second, Descalso at first, 1 out. Rolls it right to Aguilar at first. And they turn an impressive double play. Nicely done by the Brewer infield. And that ends the threat. We head to the 4th, still no score. D-backs at Chase Field. D-backs fans, if you can't catch the games on your TV, stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. It's presented by your Valley Honda dealers. Just download the app and take Fox Sports Arizona and your D-backs with you wherever you go. The cupcake is on its way to Kate, and we want to wish Kate and her whole family the best. It's baby time here pretty soon.
Yes, indeed it is.
Just don't let Mickey steal it. That's all. It's our only advice.
He's got an A to do. I'm eating for 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Kate,
This is me.
good luck and God bless, and we'll see you back here soon.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll pull the pregnancy card right now and take this right from Mickey. Thank you.
Mickey's
thank
busy. Yeah, Mick, keep the hands on the camera.
you. Do your job. Just an extended All-Star break, guys. I'll be back in August, so thanks for all the support.
Good luck. Domingo Santana leads off the 4th against Zach Godley.
Well, the world can always use one more D-backs fan.
Got a lot here tonight, that's for sure. This impressive crowd here with the roof open. Santana lined out to center his first time up. That's a good shot of Mickey down there. He's always working that camera down to the Diamondback dugout, and it just shows you that it's a great seat, but our guys are in the trenches and they stand up the whole game, and you and I sit here, eat cupcakes, but they're down there working on their feet. They're here hours before every game, our terrific Fox Sports Arizona crew, and they work really hard. They're the first here, the last to leave, and there's Mick. I mean, there's no breaks down there for you, right? You're like the umps.
No rest for the weary.
He's right down there in the trenches. 2-1 on Domingo Santana.
And right in the line of fire too. We've seen some foul balls rather go whistling over in that territory. But Mick's way too quick to get hit by a foul ball.
Mick the Quick.
That's right.
Well, he's got the camouflage hat on. He's trying to just blend in. Eric Thames on deck. Godley 40 pitches, 28 strikes. Way up in the air, right field for Peralta. A lot of fly ball outs, Bob. You don't usually see that from Zach Godley.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can give you a reason why either. I mean, normally Zach has a lot of downward movement on that spike curveball, on the straight change up, and occasionally when he throws that two-seamer, it'll have a lot of downward action too. But the Brewers getting underneath the ball today, lifting it in the air. Easy outs. We'll take them however we can get them.
I got six outs in the outfield. Fly balls off Godley. Here's Thames, who grounded out to end the first. Bouncer to Goldie at first base, 2 down.
Hey, fans, get to any weekend game this season with the new D-backs Bud Light ticket pack. The pack includes a game ticket, a Bud Light, and a bacon-wrapped Sonoran dog, all for just $29. Visit dbacks.com/Bud Light.
4 straight set down by Zach Godley. Here's the first baseman, Jesus Aguilar. He flied out in his first at bat tonight. Aguilar had a pinch hit RBI double last night. He's hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games.
Looked like a breaking ball that just got away from Godley that time, sailed up and in. Yeah, just never really took the break and hits him right in the belly.
Well, in his defense, he is 6'3", 250.
Yeah.
He's had a cupcake or 2 in his day. Down there with Carlos Sabero coaching at first. Hernan Perez, the third baseman, grounded out his first time up. And that 1 is hit well and gone. Hernan Perez. 2 down. 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 2 do His second home run in this series, his 9th of the year, and it's 2-0 Brewers. Just the 3rd home run given up all year by Zack Godley. We mentioned the fly ball outs, very unusual for Zack, and that one flied out of here.
Fastball up at the top of the zone, inner part of the plate. We saw Perez very quick on pitches inside last night. Once again tonight, tomahawking one out of here to left field.
Perez last night homered with 2 outs in the 5th. Tonight with 2 outs in the 4th. Manny Pena, the catcher. Curveball from Godley, and it's 0-2. Pena just 33 games with Milwaukee last year, all beginning in August following the trade of Jonathan Lucroy to Texas. And Lucroy was a franchise catcher, but they may have found another one here with Pena. Chases another curveball. That's Godley's best 2-strike pitch. But the Brewers strike first. Hernan Perez, his 2nd home run in this series, has made it 2-0 Milwaukee. Milwaukee as we start the bottom of the 4th inning. Fans, don't forget, vote today, vote tomorrow, vote all the time, every day, morning, noon, night. Vote Arizona Diamondbacks, your 2017 All-Stars. Use the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at dbacks.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game at Marlins Park in Miami. It's presented by MasterCard, July 11th, and it's live on Fox. And here's a guy who certainly is All-Star worthy, Jake Lamb. So far, he's got the D-backs only hit a single to lead off the 2nd. And now Jake leads off the 4th. Shift is on, as it always is. A lot of room for Lamb in left center field. When you're leading the major leagues in runs batted in, you should be at the All-Star game. Fastball missed, and it's 2-0. Jake Lamb saw that batting average dip just below 250. That was back on May 10th, so about a month ago. Since then, he's hit .320 with 33 runs batted in. play, and it's 2-2. Junior Guerra has given up just the Lamb single. He has walked 4 already, but he got out of a big jam there in the third. A 3-6-1 double play turned by the Brewer infield. That was nicely done. Hit by Goldie to end the third. Center field, Phillips backing up again. 1 down.
Yeah, Chris Owings making his way to the plate, hitting in the 5 spot tonight. How about this? You mentioned that Guerra pitched opening day for the Brewers, was injured, went on the disabled list. He's only now pitching in his 5th start this year. He's yet to give up a hit to a number 3 hitter in the opposing lineup or a number 5 hitter in the opposing lineup.
Wow. Well, CO batting 5th tonight at shortstop. Struck out his first time up. Owens jumps on the first pitch, pops it up. Sogard at second. 2 outs.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Brandon Drury flied out in his first at bat. Notice Brandon in his first AB tonight had that front foot and stance open just a little bit, not a whole lot, but it looks a little different from up here anyway. See, now he's a little more open, facing the pitcher a bit more.
He will close up as he strides, gets back to square.
Is that a guy who maybe is trying to see the ball a little better?
That's occasionally what a guy will do to make an adjustment to get both eyes on the baseball. Try to open up just a little bit, make sure you're seeing the pitch extremely well.
Oh, 0-2.
You know, from the time I played in the major leagues until today, I think that's the biggest difference offensively is almost everybody hits out of an open stance now.
Used to be everybody hit closed.
Severely closed stances. And by a closed stance for a right-handed hitter, we mean his left foot is closer to home plate than his right foot. Occasionally you could stand in the middle of the diamond and see the hitter's number on his back. That's how closed up they would get.
I always remember the great Disco Dan Ford. He had one of the most closed stances ever.
George Hendrick was a guy that hit out of an exaggerated closed stance and way off the plate.
Then George Brett started working with Charlie Lau, and he, of course, was a left-hand hitter, but he was a little more hunched over, but he was open a tad, and then it sort of evolved into what you were talking about now, where everyone's open and facing the pitcher. You see Pena wants it down right there. Third for Perez. Junior Guerra handed a 2-0 lead, works a 1-2-3 fourth. As we start the 5th inning. Hey fans, beginning June 15th, the greatest players in the world will be just outside Milwaukee, Wisconsin at Erin Hills for the U.S. Open as Dustin Johnson will defend his title. It's the 117th U.S. Open. It starts June 15th on Fox FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. That's coming up next Thursday. Oh, there you go. They've moved on from cupcakes.
Into the serious stuff.
Brett Phillips, never serious. The world's best laugher will lead off the 5th inning. Curveball from Godley on the first pitch, and it's 0-1. We showed you some of Brett Phillips laughing yesterday. His teammates are constantly trying to get him to laugh because once he starts, he can't stop. And he pretty much asphyxiates himself.
Yeah, if he starts laughing, you need to have a trainer present.
Oh, 0-2. If you've never seen, I'm sorry, Bob, I would suggest just Google Brett Phillips laugh and you will be immensely entertained.
Absolutely. And if you have, not that that's a weakness, it's a quirk, a character trait, whatever you want to call it. But if you have something like that in a baseball clubhouse, your teammates will find out about it and they will abuse you.
Well, he just can't hide it. I mean, once you get him laughing, that's why they constantly just tell him jokes. It's all the time. And they're bad jokes. Guys get jokes from their mothers. They crack them up every time.
What did the duck say to the bartender?
Put it on my bill.
Put it on my bill.
He's laughing hysterically.
He was about to go down.
Well, Brett Phillips goes down swinging. 3 strikeouts for Godley.
You were talking about the Zach Godley array of outs today. 6 fly ball outs, only 4 ground ball outs, and that was his 3rd strikeout. Coming into play tonight, Zach had gotten very nearly 3 ground ball outs for every fly ball out. So a little bit out of character for Zach Godley tonight.
This is Lewis Brinson, the Brewers' #1 prospect, called up today when Jonathan VR was put on the DL, and he literally just got here. They're very excited about this young man. He's yet to make his major league debut. Lewis Brinson just turned 23 years old. They got him last year from the Texas Rangers in the Jonathan Lucroy deal we mentioned earlier. Called up today from AAA Colorado Springs, so maybe we'll see him here at some point over the rest of this weekend. He is their #1 prospect.
But this is not his first game at Chase Field this year.
Really? What do you got?
He was here opening day as a fan. In a minor league camp with the Brewers as the team broke camp, and the Diamondbacks opened here at home, and he and some of his buddies came across town and decided to take in a ball game.
Orlando Arcia. Well, that was a great game. Chris Owings won that game with that walk-off single, beat the Giants. First round pick by Texas in the 2012 draft. Lewis Brinson out of Coral Springs, Florida. Brewers got him last year, and he may make his major league debut this weekend. Junior Guerra, the pitcher. Now 4 strikeouts for Godley. He struck out the last 3 Brewers he's faced following the Perez home run. Guerra grounds out, bottom 5 all the way. Diamondbacks just 1 hit still. They trail the Brewers 2-0.
They trail the Brewers 2-0. It's time to take a look back at this day in baseball history, brought to you by Geico. Former D-back Reggie Sanders, playing for the Kansas City Royals, hit his 300th career home run against Chad Harville in that ball game, making Reggie Sanders one of only 5 players in Major League history with 300 homers and 300 stolen bases.
He's a really good player. It's amazing how many teams he played for, being so good.
Yep. He had a great year for me in 01, hit 263, 33 homers, drove in 90, scored 84, played tremendous defense in right field.
Yeah, we usually get to see Reggie a couple of times over the course of the year. He stops by.
Yeah, the other 4 players, the Bonds, Barry and Bobby Bonds, Andre Dawson and Willie Mays. Pretty good company for Reggie Sanders.
Chris Iannetta leads off the 5th against Junior Guerra. That's fouled back. Diamondbacks trying to get something going here. Still only 1 base hit. That was Jake Lamb's single to lead off the 2nd. Guerra has walked 4, but the Diamondbacks cannot take advantage. Brewers will put 3 infielders on the left-hand side against Iannetta. Coming for radio. Just missed Tom Candiotti. Rings him up on the breaking ball. Just the 3rd strikeout for Guerra, 1 down in the 5th.
Which went straight down. 86. That's about the velocity of his splitter, but looked more like a slider that time.
Ray Fuentes. He popped up in his first at bat tonight. Fastball is strike 1. Fuentes has hit safely in 3 straight games and 4 of his last 5. That includes a 3-hit game last Sunday in Miami. Torey Lovullo was talking the other day when we had a mic on him for Fox Sports Arizona about how hard a job Ray Fuentes has. You know, playing a couple of times a week, you got to be ready. You got to make the most of your opportunities. You don't get that many. Splitting center field with Gregor Blanco while A.J. Pollock is hurt. Sends this one the other way to Thames and left. Late break coming in, and he won't get there. Fuentes can fly. It's rolling toward the corner. Fuentes headed for 3rd. He'll stop there. Ray Fuentes gets it going. Eric Thames might not have seen that ball. He got a very late jump, and it dropped just in front of him.
Thames has seen a lot of action in left field this season, but he's a first baseman by trade. Just a little short that time with the diving attempt. Didn't know where the ball went behind him. Fortunately for the Brewers, Brett Phillips comes over from center field to back it up. And it looked like Thames was limping a little bit when he got up after that diving attempt.
Fuentes can really run. No chance to come home from 3rd, though. It's a triple for Ray, his 2nd this year, 2nd Diamondback hit in the baseball game. And now we'll see how they want to play this with Fuentes at 3rd base, 1 out, and the batter is the pitcher Gottlieb. Zach walked his first time up. Aguilar will come in from 1st. Perez near the bag at 3rd. Here comes Fuentes. Here's the throw, and they got him. Orlando Arcia makes a terrific throw home. Trip Gibson says out. Let's see. Once it got by Perez, Fuentes took off. Oh, he's blocking the plate completely.
Blocking the plate. No lane whatsoever for Ray Fuentes to get on that dish.
That's 7-1-3 right there. They're going to challenge.
A great play by Arcia. Short hop throw. Nice play by Pena to make the catch. But yeah, you're not allowed to do that anymore. You're not allowed to block home plate and not give that runner a lane. Looked like he might have been safe anyway.
That's the Buster Posey rule, which created such a fuss several seasons ago. You might not have to challenge this. You might be able to just request it, I believe.
I think that's why Torrey went out there and talked it over with the home plate umpire Trip Gibson to make sure he was legally within his rights. I think you're absolutely right. I think blocking home plate is a completely separate category. You hear the fans here at the ballpark. They've shown the replay up on the big board, the one that we showed you a moment ago, that looks like Ray Fuentes got his hand on the plate before the tag was applied.
You know, everybody learned that rule so quickly because there was so much commotion about it. I can't recall, Bob, the last time we've even seen this come up.
Right. Well, catchers have been very good about giving the runner a lane. Runners have been very good about not making contact with the catcher unless it's absolutely unavoidable.
I believe you do have to use a challenge for a review of Rule 7-1-3, but if you're out of challenges, I believe then you can ask the crew chief to review it. And he is safe. The run scores. Here's another look. Is there anywhere for Fuentes to go there?
No.
Not even close.
And he still gets his hand on the plate before Pena could slap that tag on his back as he went past.
I think you're right. Yeah, he's safe either way.
Either way.
Well, they put up on the board here official review. Doesn't matter now since the Diamondbacks won the challenge anyway. So they get Fuentes home. Godley's at first. It's a 2-1 ball game. Here's the leadoff man, Descalso. Jammed him, popped it up, foul ground. Aguilar near the dugout.
Oh, no.
That was a great play by Ray Fuentes. He waited until the ball just got by Perez, the third baseman, and then took off for home. And Arcia made a very good play as well, the shortstop. Descalso's flied out, walked 0 for 1. Second time today Godley's been on base. Another start in left field for Descalso. He's hit safely in 7 of his last 9 starts. Walked his last time up. 3 Brewer infielders on the right hand side. Perez all by himself on the left. Fastball away, missed. It's 2-1. All kinds of room on that left side for Daniel Descalso. Boy, he hits the ball to left center. He could run around the bases twice. Phillips is shaded over toward the pool. Thames near the line in left. Two-1 is chopped to first. Aguilar. They get 1 and that's it. 3-6 on the put out of Godley at second. 2 down.
Right fielder
David Peralta now.
For Zach Godley, that fielder's choice grounder to the left side. His first career RBI thanks to that trick slide at home plate by Ray Fuentes.
Yeah, you were right. Your throw out Rule 7-1-3. He was safe regardless.
Yep.
Really good play by Fuentes. under it a bit. Santana. But the Diamondbacks get on the board. We are through 5. They trail Milwaukee 2-1. Crowd here. Roof is open at Chase Field as we start the 6th inning. It's time for the unlimited baseball break. It's presented by T-Mobile. Mets got Yoenis Cespedes back today and hit a grand slam. Not bad. Carlos Martinez got hit by a pitch as a batter, and as a pitcher, you cannot throw a complete game shutout, or you can't throw a shutout that's not a complete game. Aaron Judge hit another home run. What else is new? 121 miles an hour. Wow. Off the bat. Complete game shutout for me is more like when people say grand slam home run. Yeah. Some people get all upset about that. It's kind of silly, but nice play by Ray Fuentes there after that triple to come home and score the D-backs' first run. And now Eric Sogard leads off the 6th.
Well, the Hernan Perez 2-run homer notwithstanding, it's been a good night for Zach Godley. He's had 6 0-2 counts, 2 1-2 counts, thrown first pitch strike to 13 of 18 Brewers hitters. And he's gotten an out on 4 or fewer pitches 11 times.
He's not walked a batter. He's given up only 2 hits. He's actually struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced as Sogard leads off the 6th here. Godley just pitched 6 scoreless innings against these Brewers on the last road trip at Miller Park, as we talked about earlier. There's Goldie at first. Tonight is Zach's first D-back start since May 31st at Pittsburgh. Gave up 3 runs, 7 hits in 6 innings in that start. In between his start on the last road trip last Wednesday in Pittsburgh and tonight, he did make 1 start with AAA Reno. That was Monday at Tacoma. Worked 4 innings there, gave up 1 hit and threw 67 pitches, so that was enough to kind of stay sharp, and he's out there tonight on regular rest. Domingo Santana 0 for 2. Santana with a 9-game hit streak. He's hit safely in every game this month. He's hit in 9 straight games, 13 of his last 14. Been a big bat in this Brewer lineup. He's hitting nearly .340 over those last 14 games, including 5 home runs. Godley in trouble here against a dangerous hitter behind 2-0. Lays off a curveball. 3 balls and no strikes with Thames on deck. there's Godley's first base on balls.
You know, we talked about Zach Godley and his competitiveness, the bulldogness out there on the mound. It almost looked like he just didn't want to give Santana anything to hit right there. Threw him a breaking ball in the 2-0 count.
I think we talked about this last night. At this point, with the way things are going, I think you'd much rather pitch to Thames than Santana if you had to pick your poison. Carve this one out toward Descalso in left field, right there. Well, Zach has completed at least 6 innings in each of his last 5 starts. He's 1 out away from doing that again. He has held the opposition to 2 earned runs or fewer in 4 of his 6 starts this year, and he's on his way to doing that again. So this has become pretty much your standard Zach Godley outing. Gives you 6 innings, keeps it to 2 runs.
Yeah, really the only oddity tonight is he has an RBI as a hitter.
That's right. Chris Owings, backhand stop. They go the short way for the force on Santana. That ends the inning. Zach Godley threw 6, but he trails it 2-1. The Brewers 2-1. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. The series and homestand finale. Robbie Ray on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Boys, he's been amazing lately against former D-back Chase Anderson, who last time he faced the Diamondbacks took a no-hitter into the 8th inning. 2
of the hottest pitchers in all of baseball hooking up here tomorrow. That should be a beauty.
Diamondback Live pregame show here on Fox Sports Arizona. 12:30, a 1:10 first pitch. Then we head to Detroit, Philadelphia, and Denver. Goldie leads off the 6th. D-backs trail at 2-1. He has walked and head into an inning-ending double play. Breaking ball got away from Junior Guerra, 1-0. Goldie currently tied with Steve Finley, second on the Diamondbacks all-time home runs list, 153. Gonzo number 1 at 224. You know, he is relentlessly consistent. Only 3 times all season has Goldie gone more than 1 game without getting a base hit. And 2 of those times came back in April. This one right at Arcia, the shortstop. Jake Lamb.
Third baseman, Jake Lamb.
Jake singled in the second. He flied out his last time up. Overshift is on the right-hand side for Lamb. They give him most of left center field. He yanks it down the line. Aguilar is there. He calls off Guerra. Here comes the little freight train. There's the big freight train. Chris had apparently been bugging Peralta all year long. You got to use that song as your walk-up music if you're going to be the freight train. And he didn't, so CO, as a joke the other day, said, well, I'm going to use it. I'll be the little freight train. And now it's back. 2 outs on 4 pitches so far in the inning for Guerra. There's strike 1. Well, Junior Guerra pitching anything like, or nothing like the journeyman that he is. He's been all over the baseball map. And he's turned himself into the Brewers opening day starter. He was their pitcher of the year last season. This is a guy who was signed out of Venezuela by the Braves in 2001. Released by the Braves, let go by the Mets, waived by the White Sox. He's played winter ball in Venezuela. He pitched in the Hawaiian Winter League. He had 2 different stints in independent ball with the Wichita Wingnuts of the American Association. This guy has played everywhere, trying to catch on. Milwaukee picked him up on waivers from the White Sox before last year. He wound up as their best pitcher last season and their opening day starter this year. Didn't make his major league debut until he was 30. 2 balls, 1 strike to Chris Owings.
Coming into tonight, he had 24 career starts. He pitched in 27 total games, a 10-3 record with an ERA of 2.79.
He just seemingly came off every scrap heap there is, and he's turned into a very good starting pitcher now at the age of 32. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chris Owings. Manny Pena behind the plate tonight. Base hit. Got to get it started somehow. Diamondbacks like these 2-out rallies, so there you go. A 2-out single brings up Brandon Drury. Guerra usually doesn't give you a whole lot more than 90 pitches, so he's pretty close to empty just based on the pitch totals this year. And keep in mind, he missed 2 months of the season, so this is only his 5th start all year. Brandon Drury has flied out, grounded out, 0 for 2. Brandon doubled here last night. They'll keep an eye on Owings over there. 9 stolen bases in 11 attempts.
I mentioned earlier, these 2 teams are 2 of the more aggressive clubs in all of baseball when it comes to stealing bases, whether it's second or third or double steals. But both teams are well aware of the other's capabilities. Pitchers have been holding runners extremely close. We've seen the catchers throw to the bases.
Torey Lovullo likes to call this counter-punching. Doing all the things Bob just mentioned, trying to slow down that Diamondback running game. They really set a tone the first 6 weeks or so of the season. They were running wild.
It was like a track meet.
Sure was.
And we saw the effects of that on teams as we move forward into the season. Diamondbacks stole so many bases. They were so aggressive on the bases early in the season that suddenly every time the D-backs got a runner on base, the game just came to a halt. The pitcher was out there worried about the base runner at first. Catcher was calling for throw-overs and pitch outs and pick-off attempts.
The ability to disrupt the game even when you're not running on the bases. Drury down 0-2. Brewers took a 2-0 lead in the fourth, a 2-out home run by the third baseman Hernan Perez. D-backs got their run in the fifth inning. Fuentes tripled on a ball that Thames missed and left. Came home in a Godley fielder's choice, Zach's first ever RBI. Now here in the sixth, Owings at first with 2 outs, 0-2 on Brandon Drury.
Watch for that split finger in the dirt right here if you're Chris Owings down there at first base. They're going to pick at first base before delivering another pitch.
Dave McKay is down there, stopwatch in hand. The absolute best in the business right there. Fastball up, and it's 1-2 on Brandon Drury. Bullpen quiet for the Brewers with Guerra approaching 90 pitches. Go to first. Owings is back in time. There was that splitter in the dirt. Guerra in his start against the Diamondbacks May 26th in Milwaukee threw 98 pitches. That's his high for the year. 96 and 90 in his 2 starts after that, and the cell phone lights are flashing here at Chase Field. Big crowd here tonight. Looking for another Diamondback 2-out rally. Another fastball up, and Drury has come back to work the count full 3-2. That'll get Owings started from first. Iannetta would be next. 90 pitches for Junior Guerra, 53 for strikes. Aguilar still holding Owings on the bag at first. There goes Owings. Drury fouls it back.
Yeah, I think they're still holding on Chris Owings over there at first base in this full count 2-out pitch because of his speed. Chris Owings can score from first base on an extra base hit. If it were a slower runner or somebody that's not as aggressive, you might see Aguilar swing around behind Chris Owings or behind the runner to give himself more range. But because CO can motor, they've been holding him on the bag at first.
Big crowd here tonight. Cell phone lights are flashing. More than 40,000 with us at Chase Field as Manny Pena needs another moment. This guy really seems to like to manage and handle his pitcher out there, but I think he might have mismanaged once or twice. There's a lot of hands-on attention from the catcher. Hader, one of their top pitching prospects, the left-hander, starting to warm up again. Saw him warming up the other night, but he didn't get into the ball game. So here we go again. 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now Aguilar will play behind Owings at first. 3-2 to Brandon Drury. There's nobody over there. Owings is going to stop at second. Jesus Aguilar was playing behind CO at first, and Guerra threw it to no one.
Aguilar had been holding on Chris Owings. We were just talking about that, but on that pitch he was swung around behind him, not on the bag, and apparently Guerra on the mound didn't realize that Aguilar had moved around behind the runner.
CO thought about third too, but it didn't roll far enough up that line. So now he's in scoring position. The tying run, still 3-2 on Drury with 2 down. E1, the error on the pitcher, Junior Guerra. Single can tie the ball game. Fly ball, left field. It's gone. Bob, you talked about the running game sort of breaking the mentality of these opposing pitchers. Got to believe it happened right there.
I think that had something to do with it, and I also think that was a real bad meeting by Manny Pena. I mean, Guerra was okay out there on the mound. It's a full count pitch. Hang your fingers down, call a sign. He stopped the ball game, broke up the rhythm that his pitcher had out there on the mound, made the mistake on the pickoff at first base, and then served up a gopher ball to Brandon Drury.
Chris Iannetta. Jumbo Jack off the bat of Brandon Drury. A free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink at Jack in the Box. Iannetta has walked and struck out.
Brandon Drury pulled a full Goldie that time, went from 0-2 to 3-2 and then hit a homer.
That is the full Goldie. Another 2-out rally by the Diamondbacks, and they lead at 3-2. Here's a look.
A splitter that just kind of tumbled up there, didn't get it down where he wanted it. And Brandon Drury was all over that one, not fooled a bit.
Great shot by our crew right there. That's gorgeous. Right into the sea of Diamondback fans out there in left field. We got more than 40,000 in here tonight. And score that, a home run, the 6th of the year for Drury. Check swing, it's going to work out. He dunks it into right center. Well, that's the way things are rolling these days for Chris Iannetta. Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, making his way out to the mound with Guerra at 96 pitches. Ray Fuentes will be the hitter. D-backs beginning play tonight, 3.5 games behind the Rockies for the National League West Division lead. Colorado won again today. They beat the Cubs at Wrigley. The Rockies have won 7 straight. D-backs trying to keep pace. Brandon Drury with the game's biggest hit so far.
Oh, by the way, how many outs when these runs score?
2. Another 2-out rally.
How about that?
That's the way we like them. Ray Fuentes tripled and scored his last time up. Popped him up. Perez, third base side. Chris Owings, a 2-out single. Brandon Drury went from 0-2 to 3-2 and takes it out of here. His 6th has made it 3-2 Diamondbacks. Two Diamondbacks. Fans, Chaz Roberts has helped thousands of people in our community, and they'd like to give back by continuing their AC giveaway. You can nominate a deserving family or a nonprofit organization that needs a brand new air conditioning unit. Just log on to chazroberts.com/coolplay and submit your nominations. Entries due June 30th. Is that the home run ball?
That's what we're being told. Yeah, that's why that young man has that smile frozen on his face.
Nice job. Hernan Perez, who homered in the 4th, a 2-run shot, leads off the 7th. Zach Godley back out there now with a 3-2 lead. Perez has homered in both games of the series so far. Good curveball from Zach, and he's ahead 0-2. Boy, Zach Godley starts the 7th, Bob. Only 72 pitches. You were mentioning how efficient he's been.
Yeah, a lot of quick outs, a lot of very aggressive swings from the Brewers offense.
He's given up just 2 hits so far. Marcy, the shortstop, a 1-out single in the 3rd. And then after Godley hit Aguilar, the first baseman, with a pitch with 2 outs in the 4th, Perez homered, his 9th of the year.
Tough hop back there on that pitch in the dirt for Chris Iannetta. Does a nice job of blocking it just in case the batter swings away on a 2-strike pitch, but it very nearly got underneath the mask there. Fortunately, just caught the side.
Foul ball right by Ed Cedar at 3rd. And there is Sam Levenberg. Stop short on Sam.
That's good defense, Sam. Wait till it stops. Pick it up.
Changeup from Godley missed. It's 2-2. Manny Pena, the catcher, on deck. Brett Phillips, the center fielder, after that. Well, he really overthrew that fastball, lost his footing a bit, and now it's full 3-2. Anderson Ford bullpen, the left-hander Andrew Chafin. Chafin worked 1 inning in the ball game last night. Dribbler in the hole. Lamb in front of Owings, and they just do get Perez, who runs well. Tell you what, Jake Lamb's played some pretty slick defense down there at third on this homestand.
He's had some real tough chances too.
Manny Pena, the catcher, flied out, struck out 0 for 2. Pena, a big night last night, 3 hits. He doubled twice, knocked in 2 runs. Mention the Rockies won again, 7 straight. They beat the Cubs 9-1 at Wrigley. Dodgers were leading the Reds, but Cincinnati's come back. That's tied up 4-4, 7th inning in LA. There's Owings. Nice high hop. 2 down.
Hey fans, the day after every Diamondbacks win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
Well, so far Zack Godley has faced Brett Phillips twice. He struck him out twice, but Zack Godley has his lefty Chafin ready in the bullpen. We'll see how he wants to play this. He's going to make the move. This is it for Zack Godley, who has pitched 6 2/3 innings tonight and given up just 2 runs on 2 hits. He will leave after 80 pitches with a 3-2 lead. Done now with 2 outs in the 7th inning. D-backs lead the Brewers 3-2. Andrew Chafin answers the Ashline call to the bullpen. A 2.08 ERA, his 28th appearance. Now, the left-hander Brett Phillips was scheduled to be the hitter, but he's been recalled, and Keon Broxton will hit for Phillips. And Broxton is a guy you want up there right now if you're the Diamondbacks. He's hitless in his last 16 at bats. He has really slumped lately. He's leading the National League in strikeouts.
How about the final totals for Zack Godley? Outs on 4 or fewer pitches 15, 3 or fewer pitches 12, and 2 or fewer pitches 5 times. Can't get much more efficient than that.
He walked 1, struck out 4. So Chafin gets Broxton. Saw the numbers, 225 and 6 homers. He is stuck right now, Keon Broxton, in a 4 for 48 slump. Godley's made really one bad pitch all night. That Padres homer in the 4th made it 2-0 Milwaukee. Squib shot the other way. Drury's got to hustle over there, and they just do get Broxton at first. We stretch at Chase Field. 40,000 fans here with us watching the Diamondbacks lead the Brewers 3-2. Hader set to make his major league debut, just coming to the mound now. We'll take a break. Back right after this. Colorado Springs for this series. He is considered one of the top pitching prospects, not just in the Milwaukee system, but perhaps all of minor league baseball. His numbers this year pitching in the Coast League, a little shaky, of course. That's a hitter's league. But here is Hader in the first batter he'll face in the big leagues is Gregor Blanco hitting for Andrew Chafin in the pitcher spot.
Josh Hader has been a big-time strikeout pitcher in his minor league career, including this season. He's had 541 and a third innings pitched at the minor league level, 610 strikeouts.
Keon Broxton, who hit for Phillips, remains in the game, takes over in center field. 2-0 on Gregor Blanco. Well, Blanco wants no part of this 96-mile-an-hour heat from the kid. That strike is in there. Daniel Descalso, the leadoff man on deck. Blanco tripled, walked, scored twice in the ball game last night. And he's got himself a leadoff walk. He had to earn it, though. So Hader a little erratic in his first major league at bat. Descalso 0 for 2. He walked in the third.
Be loose, Daniel Descalso.
Well, you better be, huh? Hader just 23 years old, 6'3", 185. Slices it toward left. Thames is out there. That'll bring up David Peralta. Josh Hader was part of the package the Brewers got in return from the Houston Astros in the deal that sent Carlos Gomez from Milwaukee to Houston at the trade deadline 2 years ago. They got Hader. They got Phillips, who was out there in center earlier. They got Domingo Santana in that deal, so that worked out well for Milwaukee. Trading Gomez along with Mike Fiers to Houston. Peralta tonight 0 for 3. David this year hitting .265 against left-hand pitchers. Hader's got kind of a Hanson brothers look about him, doesn't he?
A little bit, yeah.
Ready to go, coach. I just got to straighten out my lines. Looks like he was just pitching in the Iron League. Center field for Keon Broxton. 2 outs. Well, now Hader knows he's in the big leagues. Here comes 44. Goldie has walked and twice grounded out once into a double play. He's 0 for 2. Slider in the dirt. 1-0 on Paul Goldschmidt. Goldie leading the major leagues in runs scored and walks. Tops in the National League in on base percentage. But looking for the big hit right here. That kicks well away from Pena, and Blanco moves up. That almost hit Jake Lamb in the on deck circle.
I wonder how much Manny Pena has seen of Josh Hader. That fastball just kept running inside to Goldie, off the heel of the glove all the way to the backstop. I would assume they just go ahead and put Goldie on here and go after Jake Lamb.
And that's what they'll do. He scored that a pass ball. So here we go. 2 outs, 2 on. Jake Lamb. Jake singled in the second. He's 1 for 3. 8 for 57 against left-hand pitchers this year. That's a 140 batting average. He has homered twice off lefties this year. Jumps on a first pitch fastball and fouls it back. It's 0-1. Blanco at second and Goldie at first. Lamb up there leading the majors in RBIs. Looking for tacos. Wow, Jake almost never swings at a high fastball like that. That's unusual.
Try to throw another fastball up, I believe. A little spin move to second base before the next delivery.
Got him. Well, Hader makes it interesting, but he keeps it a 3-2 ball game as we head to the 8th. Hader comes against Jake Lamb to win the 7th. It's 3-2 D-backs as we hit the 8th. And remind you that bring Dad to the ballpark Sunday, June 25th. The D-backs will celebrate Dads with a Dad's Day special event. Fans who buy a special ticket package for Dad will get a ticket to the game and a D-backs Dad cap. So get your tickets now at dbacks.com/dad. That's the beautiful mural up there on La Taraxa here at Chase Field. And well, D-backs fans have been clamoring for Archie Bradley to get some high leverage work out of this bullpen. Well, here he is, a 1-run lead in the 8th inning.
Just the way Archie likes it. Going to face the bottom of the Brewers order here, 8, 9, and 1.
Defensive changes out there. Gregor Blanco will stay in the game, takes over in left field for Daniel Descalso. So Blanco will bat ninth pitcher spot now in the leadoff spot for the Diamondbacks, and Orlando Arcia is the first hitter in the Milwaukee eighth. Arcia has singled, struck out, 1 for 2. Way out in front of that Archie Bradley knuckle curve, and Archie's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Usually at Chase Field, we're watching the Diamondbacks win games 15-3 or 7-4 or 10-2 like they did against the Padres. This one, though, 3-2 in the 8th inning. Zach Godley and Junior Guerra pitchers duel. Now it's a bullpen game. Bradley blows them away at 97.
And that extra velocity will make hitters chase bad pitches. You mentioned it with Jake Lamb, who rarely swings at high fastballs. Chased one against the left-hander Josh Hader, and that time Arcia just couldn't lay off 97 up above the top of the zone.
Nick Franklin, who had a pinch hit RBI single last night, will hit for the pitcher Hader here. 191 and a homer. Fastball's in there, and it's 0-1. Franklin, over his last 20 games, has had only 24 at bats. He's almost exclusively a pinch hitter, and he grounds one to Drury at second. 2 outs.
Second baseman, Eric Sogard.
A leadoff man is Eric Sogard. D-backs in the bottom of the 8th will have Owings, Drury, Iannetta due up 5, 6, and 7. Sogard tonight 0 for 3. He's hitless in the series. Product of Thunderbird High School in ASU. How about a 7-pitch inning with a 1-run lead in the 8th for Archie Bradley. 3-2 D-backs. Fans, welcome back. Former D-back greats like Gonzo, Matt Williams, Augie Ojeda, William Bloomquist.
Who?
Yeah, William. It says it right here. And more of your favorites for the annual alumni game. It's coming up Saturday, July the 8th. And this year's alumni game starts at 4:30 before the D-backs game against the Reds. And if you arrive early, you'll get the collectible cup set courtesy of Sanderson Ford. Get your tickets at dbacks.com/alumni. 40,195 in here tonight. This is the largest June crowd the Diamondbacks have had since 2013 when it was Aaron Hill bobblehead night.
Wow, and close to 5,000 walk-ups tonight. Fans just decided they're going to come out to the ballpark. What a great night for it.
Love having him here. Jared Hughes back out there for the Brewers to start the bottom of the 8th inning. We saw Hughes work an inning in the ball game last night. Chris Owings knocks it into left center, and CO is taking the turn. Broxton picks it up. It's a double for Chris Owings. His 15th of the year, the little freight train. Our Chaz Roberts, air conditioning and plumbing, cool play of the game. How about Brandon Drury? He was down 0-2 with 2 outs, worked it full 3-2 and hit a 2-run homer to make it 3-2 Diamondbacks. 6th of the year for Drury. Now here he is. Breaking ball from Hughes is in there for a strike. That was Drury's second home run this week. He homered here on Wednesday against San Diego. Crushed one out to the home run porch in dead center. Fernando Rodney starting to loosen up in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Get your bow and arrow set ready. Chopped. Hughes jumped a little early there. Owings flies into third. All right. He made the out.
I thought I was seeing things there for a moment. I couldn't figure out what Jared Hughes was doing out there on the mound. A little comebacker, and he must have thought it was hit harder than it was. But he does get the out at first base. Chris Owings advances on to third with 1 out in the inning. That's a funny looking play.
Chris Iannetta. Kind of like Simon Says or something. Chris has singled, walked, and struck out tonight. He's 1 for 2. Infield creeps in for the Brewers. 3 infielders on the left-hand side. Swing and a miss. He fouled it off. Iannetta a chance to tack on a pad run here for Rodney. Coming off his 7 RBI game Thursday against the Padres. Ooh, that one came close to the backstop. Tony Perez Chica coaching at third. Big cut at that fastball, and it's 1-2. Hughes worked the 6th inning in the game last night. Retired all 3 he faced with only 14 pitches. Got Descalso, Ahmed, and Mathis. 1-2 on Iannetta. Pena can't hang on, stays 1-2.
Well, I tell you, Hughes gets a lot of movement on that low to mid-90s fastball. A lot of sink, a lot of tailing action. You almost have to convince yourself as a hitter to swing a couple of inches below where you see the baseball.
Hughes is a guy who was let go by the Pirates just before opening day. Milwaukee picked him up. And he strikes out Iannetta. 2 down.
After all those heavy sinking fastballs inside, he goes to a slider just on the outside corner. Iannetta expecting another fastball, didn't get it.
Sanderson Ford bullpen. There is La Flecha. Rodney has been outstanding lately. Chance to get him a pad run. Owings 90 feet away, 2 down. Fuentes tripled and scored in the 5th. Fastball missed in, 1-0. Rays now hit safely in 4 straight games and 5 of his last 6. It rolls away from Pena. No foul ball.
Good thing. I'll tell you, Pena was lining up to try to pick Chris Owings off third base with a left-handed batter at the plate. He's got a clear throwing lane. He was coming up out of his crouch. Fortunately that time Fuentes is able to get a piece of it.
One and one. Brewers in the 9th will have Santana, Thames, and Aguilar 2, 3, and 4 with Rodney ready to go in the bullpen. 1-2 to Ray Fuentes.
Well, that's a real tough take with 2 strikes. That sinker that starts down there around the knees looks like it's going to be a strike, but because Hughes has so much movement, it dipped below the zone. Good take by Ray Fuentes that time.
Blanco would be next. Here's the 2-2. Missed inside with a fastball, and Rays worked it full. And Drury had the big hit, a 2-run homer in the 6th to make it 3-2 Diamondbacks. Trying to tack on one more here for Rodney. Got him. We head to the 9th inning. Fernando Rodney on his way in. Santana, Thames, Aguilar due up for the Brewers. It's a 3-2 D-backs lead.
River game nights by signing up at one of the interactive kiosks located here at Chase Field during any D-backs home game.
Our Gila River game summary. Hernan Perez, a 2-run homer in the 4th, made it 2-0 Milwaukee. Diamondbacks were down 2-1 in the 6th. Brandon Drury was down 0-2 in the count, worked it full 3-2, hit a 2-run homer to make it 3-2. And here is the closer, Fernando Rodney. On with a 1-run lead in the 9th. He has not given up an earned run in 12 consecutive games.
As a matter of fact, he hasn't given up hardly anything since the month of April. His ERA in April was 12.60. Opponents hit 364 against him in 10 innings of work. Since then, he's worked 11 2/3, no earned runs. Opponents hitting .057.
Well, he's going to have to get through the best hitters the Brewers have: Domingo Santana, Eric Thames, Jesus Aguilar. And then if anyone should reach, Hernan Perez. Santana walked his last time up. He's 0 for 2. He's got a 9-game hitting streak on the line. Strike 1. Opponents against Fernando Rodney in his last 12 games are a combined 2 for 35. Missed with a fastball. It's 2 balls and 1 strike on Domingo Santana. Rodney essentially 2 pitches, that fastball, then that split changeup. The question always is, which one's coming?
He's not saying.
Changeup up and away that time, and Santana almost swung out of his shoes. That was a dangerous location against this guy, but it worked out. Out of play. Just missed with a changeup. It's full 3-2.
Just faded off that outside corner. And when you're ahead in the count, you can be a little more fine working to those edges, but now on a full count pitch, you want to throw a strike.
Torey Lovullo was talking about Fernando Rodney before the game today. He's been around the game so much. He's seen everything. He's experienced every outcome. And there's that old cliche. He does have a short memory, and Torey is convinced every time he talks to Fernando. When he blew those 2 saves earlier this year, didn't faze him at all. That's a leadoff walk. Tying runs aboard. Here's Eric Thames, who's 0 for 3.
Not a lot of at-bats against Fernando Rodney on this Brewers roster. Thames, however, has seen him 5 times, has 2 base hits.
Santana will run occasionally. 6 stolen bases. Fastball's in there for a strike. Oh, make that a changeup. That changeup's been up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Thames does have lots of swing and miss in his game, but he's a disciplined hitter up there. He will wait for his pitch. He's tied for 3rd in the league in walks. So you got to throw him strikes. It's 1-1. Here's a look at the defensive alignment against him. Jake Lamb way over there by second base. They give Thames the entire left side. 1-2. Big Jesus Aguilar on deck. Got him. 98 from Rodney. Thames is not happy with Trip Gibson.
I think the last pitch was a strike. He's probably still upset about that first changeup. It looked like it was off the plate inside. That one 98 right there on the corner.
Great pitch. Aguilar. Missed with a fastball away. It's 1-0.
You know, it's a little deceiving. Fernando Rodney pitches out of a slide step all the time, and you'd think, boy, he's quick to the plate, but I'm getting times of 1.5, 1.55, 1.6 on that last delivery. I'm kind of surprised that Santana hasn't attempted to take off for second base already.
And there he goes, right on cue. The throw for Mayanetta. Got him! Trip Gibson here having a discussion with Jesus Aguilar at the plate and looking into the Brewer dugout.
Oh, what a tag by Brandon Drury. We talk about it all the time with the new challenge rules in place. Just tag the nearest body part.
There is no challenge from Milwaukee. 2 down.
What a throw by Chris Iannetta.
40,000 plus on their feet. Rodney trying to send them home happy. A ball and a strike to Aguilar. 2-1. The dangerous Hernan Perez is on deck. He's already homered in this game. He homered last night as well. There's that changeup. Aguilar dropped about 10 pounds swinging at that. Full count, 3-2. Fouled off. Goldie's there. Ball game. Fernando Rodney shuts the door. D-backs win it 3-2. They are now 25-9 at Chase Field this year. Their best home start ever through 35 games.
Well, this kind of ball game I love. Good starting pitching, clutch hitting at the right time. Bullpen comes in and slams the door on this high-powered Brewers offense. What a game.
D-backs keep pace with those Colorado Rockies who won again today. What a ball game here in front of 40,195. Rubber game coming up tomorrow with Robbie Ray on the mound. Back with more after this.